evening from the Athletic Center at IPFW. This is IPFW basketball here on Channel 23, your college connection to IPFW basketball. Tonight, we have got a treat for you tonight. Kentucky Wesleyan coming in at 8-3, and they have three losses coming at very close matches to Bellarmine, Lewis, and also Indianapolis. IPFW with a tough loss on Tuesday night against
Indiana Tech. Indiana Tech, they're going through the opening introductions here at IPFW's Athletic Center. Kentucky Wesleyan just being introduced, and they'll go to the IPFW. We have the starting lineups already for tonight. Lawrence Jordan, number 23, Steve Bard, 24, Greg Davis, 25, Bruce Rowland, and number 44, John Bull. There's Steve Bard now being introduced. That's right, men's basketball, IPFW versus Kentucky Wesleyan. This is promising to be quite a showdown. IPFW 11-1, Kentucky Wesleyan picked by most to win the National Division II championship. Kentucky Wesleyan's lineup, number 23, Corey Crowder, the forward, 6'5", 205-pound sophomore. Number 30, Vincent Minchell. 32, Tim Griffin. 40, Leroy Ellis. And number 44, Bobby Newton, the 6'7", hulking 220-pound junior from Lexington.
Well, folks, yeah, lost track of me there for a little while. Sorry about the delay there, but we had a little technical problem. I was trying to clear up, and I had a problem in the earphone. Couldn't hear anything. So we'll go to the national. I know, I hate when it happens too. We'll go to the national anthem right now. We'll clear things up when we come back in a few minutes. Okay, thank you, Bob, for going over the starting lineups again.
Well, you were screaming and holding your ear for some reason. I didn't want to think the worst.
I couldn't hear anything. But anyway, tonight's matchup features two very strong teams. Both of them picked to be at the top of the Great Lakes Valley Conference. But Kentucky Wesleyan is coming off two extremely tough losses, one in Indianapolis and one to Lewis, also lost to Bellarmine. But all of those were extremely close games, and two of them were on the road. So Kentucky Wesleyan, not nearly as, well, you can put bad in a quote, but not nearly as bad as their record would indicate. And
they're a much better team than even what their record indicates, even at 8-3. Winning the tip, Kentucky Wesleyan.
It's Tim Griffin with the ball. Griffin is pressured heavily by Jordan inside. Leroy Ellis doesn't get the roll. IPFW with a rebound. Greg Davis, strong rebound.
That's going to be
up the court quickly.
That's going to be a key matchup for IPFW if they can shut down the big middle for Kentucky Wesleyan, led by 44 Bobby Newton and 40 Leroy Ellis, the transfer.
Yeah, Jordan with an errant pass inside, tipped away, and Kentucky Wesleyan comes up with the ball. Three-point shot, long, Roland with the rebound, and Jordan's going to take it all the way. What a move, acrobatic, but he is too much in the paint there. Number 32, Tim Griffin, does a good job on defense and cutting the lane.
He should have passed off on that. He had the numbers. He had a 3-on-2, but he forced himself when he brought it in from the wing.
Tim Griffin averaging 8.3 points a game. He's the floor leader. Leroy Ellis with the wild hook shot, actually. Roland with the rebound. He's got 2 quick rebounds. Jordan pushing it up the floor.
Nicely tipped away by Ellis. It'll be IPFW ball.
Leroy Ellis averaging 25 points a game. He is definitely the catalyst, the star for Kentucky Wesleyan. Led by head coach Wayne Chapman, and we all know who his son is, Rex Chapman, who plays for the Charlotte Hornets, the NBA expansion team.
Getting back on Ellis. Ellis is a big, tough kid, and along with Bobby Newton, they form quite a tandem on the baseline. But Bo is now no quite load either, I tell you.
Yeah,
these are some
John
big guys out here.
John Bo, 6'4", and he's from Freeland, Michigan. He's a senior, and he's been a real spark plug on IPFW's team this year.
I'm telling you, that's Division I size in there. That's not messing around.
Well, John Bo earlier against Indiana Tech reached the height of dunk ecstasy and tore down a backboard.
You love that phrase, don't you?
Yeah,
dunk
well,
ecstasy.
you know, I'm not so sure about the advertisements. Well, you know, kind of what you would call
the pinnacle of
trying to act like breaking a backboard is the height of that ecstasy, but that's neither here nor there. Although Bo gets 1 to fall, and that's the first point of the ball game, and right now it's 1-0 IPFW.
Nice move. Beats.
Yes, Tim Griffin with his first 2 buckets, first 2 points that is.
End-to-end action already. Roland is
blocked by Ellis.
Nice move by Ellis to stop the hard driving Bruce Roland.
Leroy Ellis got down the court quickly, and as quick as Bruce Roland is, Leroy Ellis at 6'8" is almost as quick, except he's 4 inches taller, and that makes a big difference.
That's a load getting down that court, I tell you.
Vincent Mitchell gets free, and he passes over to Corey Crowder, and he takes a 3-point shot. Roland skies for the rebound. Bo comes up with it. Jordan ahead. He's going to have to pull up.
Action fast and furious, just the way probably both IPFW and Kentucky Wesleyan liked it, but can't do anything about that when your point guard throws it away like that. Tough pass for anybody to handle.
Now that's 2 turnovers on Jordan here early.
Full court pressure brought on by Piazza to stop the tempo.
Bobby Newton gets the bucket. He averages 9.5 a game. 4-1 now. Kentucky Wesleyan on top. 17:40 left here in the first half.
Slowing it down. They're going to work and try and get a good clean shot, try to free up Roland or try to get something happening on the inside, but just nothing happening well for the Dons so far. 2 errant passes has caused 2 turnovers quickly with 17:26 left.
Tim Griffin holds it up. Gets across the line, is awful close to being a 10-second call. 17:15 left, 4-1. Kentucky Wesleyan on top right now, playing a patient offense. Inside, shots missed. Roland with the rebound. Shot missed by Bobby Newton. And almost a steal by Tim Griffin. Good hustle, but it'll go out of bounds to IPFW.
Strong physical play under the boards for that last rebound. A lot of bodies crashing together.
Lawrence Jordan at the top of the key, over to Greg Davis, and Jordan has had a tough 2 ball games here. So far, he's starting off very slowly here. Had a tough game the other night against Indiana Tech. Barred with a rainbow from 3-point land. Couldn't get it to fall. Up comes the Kentucky Wesleyan with the ball, number 30, Vincent Mitchell. He hands it over to Tim Griffin. He's going to hold it up and set up the offense again. So far, Kentucky Wesleyan being very patient, Bob.
Well, they're doing what they need to do. They really, they've worked their offense well, especially with shots like that.
Bucket by Corey Crowder. That's his first 2. He averages 18.4 a game.
Seems like Kentucky Wesleyan's done whatever they've wanted to do.
Leroy Ellis snatches it right away from Bruce Rowland.
Nice defense by Wesleyan, showing surprising quickness.
6-1 IPFW is behind now by 5, 16:05 left in the first half. Wide open lane and a breakdown of the defense. Number 23, Corey Crowder, with his second bucket of the game. He's got 4, 8-1. Jordan's going to set up the offense. IPFW off to a very slow start here. 8-1. Kentucky Wesleyan on top, 15:45 left in the first half. Rowland gets untracked with the bucket. Nice move.
It was a nice job just to get himself free going into against the tall timber of Kentucky Wesleyan.
Bruce Rowland averaging 18.1 a game. Leroy Ellis with the ball. Over to Tim Griffin at the top. He's going to set up the offense.
Wesleyan very patient with their offense.
Oh, beautiful fake there by number 44, Bobby Newton. That's his second bucket of the game. He's got 4, and he had 2 members of the Parachute Club, Bob.
Yeah, I got 2 people up with nice head and shoulder fakes. Got him up, left him without any shoelaces to come back down on.
Bard from long range. That was almost NBA three-point range, and he's definitely long in the shot. Hits the backboard, comes away, and the carom to Tim Griffin. He's going to set up the offense again. Kentucky Wesleyan playing excellent basketball here in the early going.
They're doing it on both ends, Mike. They're doing it on defensive rebounds and making smart shots on the offensive floor.
Shot is long by Vincent Marshall, and up ahead now comes Jordan. Bo gets a little lucky actually to come up with the ball, but not that lucky because he's called for the offensive foul. Let's see if the bucket counts.
Bo was out of control on the drive. He had lost the handle on the ball while making his move, and he just couldn't control himself from running into the charge. Massive substitutions.
Apparently the bucket's not going to count. It's 10-3. Kentucky Wesleyan is definitely taking control of this game early. 14:28 left in the first half.
Chapman making a world of substitutions, thinking he's up by 7. He can give his big boys a break. Piazza counters with his boys. It looks like sort of a second wave for IPFW. Maybe they'll try and force something to happen with their full court press.
Wide open, break the press, Tim Griffin.
They got that tall guy in there, Kareem, whatever.
Yeah, well, pretty close, 6'11", Kareem, but
he can go by whatever
shot
he
is
wants
short
to go by
Junebug Rakes. Junebug Rakes, the man with the great first name. And a great fast break there by Lawrence Jordan to number 21, Tim Vandervelt. That's his first 2. IPFW cuts the lead to 5.
That was a perfection break. Jordan, nice timing on the pass.
Now Junebug gets it stolen by Biggs. Lawrence Jordan up ahead. Nice pass over to Vandervelt. And he throws up an air ball.
Nothing but oxygen on that. Kevin, I'm sorry, but I can't say anything about that.
Corey Crowder comes along with the rebound. Tim Griffin to set the offense again. He's been the floor leader so far here for Kentucky Wesleyan. Junebug Rakes at the top of the key. Nice drive inside. Missed. Vandervelt with a rebound. Up ahead to Jordan. Numbers aren't in his favor. And he holds up, passed inside, out to Vandervelt. Thought about it from three-point range.
Nice patience, nice patience. He wants to settle it down.
Surgeon inside to Vandervelt.
I think that's McClellan.
That's right, McClellan. Vandervelt with the ball now. Offensive foul. Ooh. It's going to be called on Eric Johnson. And that's a turnover for IPFW. 10-5, 12:59 left in the first half. Kentucky Wesleyan is ahead right now at IPFW Athletic Center. I'm Mike Neely along with Bob Kramer bringing this game tonight on Channel 23.
That's a tough call because as you saw in the replay, both of those guys were banging into each other.
Junebug Rakes breaks the pressure. I'm going to have a tough time keeping up with that name all night.
I like it.
Junebug from three-point land.
Sounds
and
like
he misses. Looks like we're having a foul called on Lloyd Sargent, and doesn't necessarily agree with that. Andy Piazza questioning that call. That'll be his first foul.
Bo's going to come back into the ball game. I think he's going to take. Well, he's got 6 players out there. Yeah, he's going to take out Sargent. Sargent's been a hard luck case of late. Just been real ineffective with the PT he's been getting.
IPFW with good defense there, and it caused a walk in the process. Vincent Mitchell had nowhere to go with it. Good pressure defense by Jordan and Rowland.
Nice help coming from the weak side. He saw him trying to charge the baseline and found some defensive help. Forced the turnover.
Lawrence Jordan with the ball. Setting up the offense. Over to Van Veld. Back to Rowland. Van Veld over to Rowland in the corner. Back to Rowland to Van Veld. Van Veld makes a move, and he gets caught up with 3 men defending him, and he has nowhere to go with it. Could have been a double dribble, but
I
no
thought
call.
that was a double dribble. I guess he just lost track.
Van Veld into Eric Johnson. Nice turnaround jumper by Eric, and he's got his first 2.
Cuts it to a 3-point deficit.
10-7 now. Kentucky Wesleyan on top of IPFW. 11:56 left in the first half.
If IPFW can realize that they can play with the best in the nation, that's going to do wonders for their confidence factor.
Lawrence Jordan with quick hands knocks it out of bounds. Into the ball game now for Kentucky Wesleyan. Corey Crowder now comes in to replace the man with a name, Junebug Rakes.
Kind of sorry to see him go, you know. He's just getting used to the name, you know, Junebug for 3.
Sounds like a fishing lure.
Get your Popeo pocket Junebug, yeah.
Vincent Mitchell with his first 2. He averages 5 a game. Into the game now for IPFW is Leonard Fox setting up the offense, giving Lawrence Jordan a breather. Steve Bard has yet to get on track from the outside. Over to Fox.
The Dons are going to have to get some help from their outside shooting so they don't have to keep taking it into the physically taller Kentucky Wesleyan.
Rowland's long, and the 6'11" Tim Karam comes up with a rebound.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting up here and the guy is big.
Or should I say Karam gets the Karam. Rowland with the good steal, up ahead to Bard, over to Leonard Fox. Nice
one too
fake,
many dribbles.
but he's going to be called for the travel.
Yeah.
12-7.
He should have taken up as soon as he got the ball, but maybe he wanted to force some physical contact, try to get the 3-point play.
11:04 left here in the first half. 12-7 Kentucky Wesleyan. IPFW closing in after being down by 7 points early.
I'll hand it to IPFW. They're playing tough. They may be down by 5, but they're still gutty.
Both teams playing excellent defense here on the early going. Three-point shot, possibly? No. And it's up ahead to Rowland. He's got a 2-on-1. He's going to take it all the way with a beautiful, fast step past the defensive player.
That was an all-conference move. That's Rowland. That's Rowland at his best.
In the open court, he's unstoppable. 4 points for him now. 12-9. IPFW down by 3. 10-19 left in the first half.
9 times out of 10, he'll beat you on the 1-and-1. No doubt about it.
He'll definitely beat me 10 out of 10. Tim Griffin from long range throws up a brick, and I'm talking, you look up brick in the dictionary, you'll see that shot. Rowland up ahead, one-on-one move on Griffin. He's going to be called for the offensive foul, and that's certainly a questionable call according to him, but I'm not so sure it wasn't a good call, to tell you the truth.
I don't think he had his foot out. There's the replay. Here he comes. He's still moving, and no, my goodness, the guy's still moving.
Well,
he still had his luggage in the carry-all.
You're right. Good call, Bob. That was a little questionable.
Weak.
12-9. 10 minutes exactly left here in the first half. 12-9. We've seen a lot of action so far. Not a lot of scoring, but some excellent defense on both teams.
Well, it's been anything but boring, I'll tell you that much.
Good crowd on hand tonight, and that's also good to see.
Yeah,
Believe me, there'll be a factor here sooner or later.
Well, strangely quiet over there on the Kentucky Wesleyan side. I'd normally assume that they would have riot squads over there by now, but I guess they're happy. They're content with it right now.
Tim Griffin at the top of the key here. He's the floor leader for Kentucky Wesleyan. Not that time. He threw it away. Leonard Fox called for the travel.
Yeah, he just got hung up.
With it.
Just got hung up. He wanted to break so bad, but he saw a Kentucky Wesleyan player where he was going to pass, had to hold up, and had nowhere to go. Obvious travel violations.
So we've had a montage of turnovers here in the first half, but nothing happening. So IPFW consequently, or should I say subsequently, is in the ball game.
For three.
Three-pointer by Corey Crowder. Gives him 7 points on the night so far, 7 out of their 15, and it's 15-9, Kentucky Wesleyan. 9:37 left in the first half.
It's been a quick first half so far.
Yes, it really has. I mean, barely actually 20 minutes old in the game. We played over 10 minutes of basketball on the regular clock. Greg Davis, strong move inside. He gets the roll.
Nice move in traffic. I didn't think he had a real good shot at that, but he gets the shooter's roll.
That's his first two. Leroy Ellis from long range. That's not really his range.
Oh, he got
blocked by Davis, and it goes out of bounds on number 30, Vincent Mitchell. He had the rebound off Ellis's long shot and was stuffed by Davis. Good place, 15-11. IPFW can cut it to 2 now.
Excellent play by Davis. He was just waiting for him to come into the parlor, and he just swatted him like nobody's business.
9 minutes left in the first half. Jordan left open from three-point land, but he'd rather have Steve Bard shoot from there.
That's not his shot out there. I mean, he'll take that, but that's not really his range. He likes the penetration move. That's Bard's
finally
shot.
Gets open, and he shoots a rainbow right in the middle. Three-pointer. 1-point game now, 15-14. IPFW is down by 1. Steal, possibly, and they're going to call a foul on number 23 for Kentucky Wesleyan, Corey Crowder. And the crowd's starting to get into it now. 15-14. IPFW only down by 1 with 8:38 left.
Excellent pressure by IPFW. Tried to throw it over the outstretched arms of Lawrence Biggs Jordan, but the little guy was able to get up and deflect that ball, and in the ensuing madness, was able to collect a foul.
Ensuing madness.
Ensuing madness, ladies and gentlemen. If you're scoring at home, that's one ensuing madness for our side.
Jordan's going to be patient here, set up the offense. Bard over to Jordan. Jordan, good pass to Roland. Roland with the stutter step, and he gets it to swish home. It's now 16-15. IPFW up by 1 now. 8:18 left in the first half.
Full court pressure by IPFW slowed down the transition of Kentucky Wesleyan.
Bruce Rowland now has 6 points. Junebug rakes back in the ball game now with the ball for Kentucky Wesleyan.
I was hoping you'd say that name. Love that guy.
I'll tell you what, Bob, I'd like to meet his parents. I really would.
Mr. and Mrs. Junebug, of course.
I'd just like to ask them why. That's all. Just why.
Foul was called. I'm not sure what was transpiring.
So that was called on Greg Davis, but I really don't know what happened.
So we were going over the genealogy of our favorite player from Kentucky Wesleyan.
Junebug is left wide open, but Jordan fills it up.
Looks like they're going to some sort of IPFW defense going into a...
Junebug rakes, stripped by Jordan. Quick hands by Jordan. They got to call a travel on that, but they don't. And in the process, it's a good block by Bo on Ellis. And we're going to get a foul called now on IPFW.
Okay, there's 2 ensuing madnesses.
Crowd loves that, huh?
Madness I.
16-15, IPFW up by 1, 7:36 left
Mike,
in the first half.
explain to me. Yeah, here's the replay. That guy is sliding on the floor like it's a slip and slide.
Now, they've got to call a travel on that, Bob. There's a block by
there's that, and
Bo.
You tell me where the foul is on that. I'm sorry. I guess I can't help for being biased, but good heavens, where was that?
Boy, Bo can get up there. Ellis at 6'8", threw up a hook shot, and Bo blocked it. I mean, it hit the rim, but Bo got a piece of it.
Bo is surprisingly quick and agile for a guy that size, you know? I mean, you stand out next to him and you think that he's not capable of doing something like that, but he's a tremendous athlete.
Leroy Ellis, averaging 25 points a game, is yet to score here in the first half so far, and he's going to try to do that right now with 2 shots. Or should I say he's in the 1-on-1 bonus situation, actually.
Junior from Portland, Oregon.
And he gets good on the first one. He'll have the bonus shot now. It's 16 all. 7:36 left. Good shot at Leroy Ellis.
As long as IPFW remains close, they're going to stay in this ball game because it's at home and they're a very emotional team.
Rowland couldn't handle the timber inside and consequently is stripped of the ball. Nice block by Leroy Ellis down court.
Rowland's just not a physical player. He just can't match up with all that strength and size.
Griffin is left open from three-point range, but Bard comes to him quickly, and now we do have somebody left open in three-point range.
That's two. He stepped on the line. Nice defense.
And the foul is going to be called on Steve Bard. Excellent rebound by Corey Crowder, and he got a chance to add to his 7 points here in the first half.
He hits the boards tough. That's one thing you can say about Kentucky Wesleyan. They will hit the boards with all that strength and speed. And of course size, as the 6'11" Karam or Kareem or the tall guy with the glasses out there checks in.
And the first one is no good. 17-16, Kentucky Wesleyan with the lead. 7:04 left in the first half. Good look at Corey Crowder.
I'll tell you,
6'5" sophomore from Carrollton.
I'll tell you, I'm 6'2", and I feel like I'm in the 5th grade out there, you know?
And he misses both of them. Rebound, John Bowe. Jordan pushing it up the court. And he holds it up. Nice pass inside to Bowe, and he couldn't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. Foul's going to be on your favorite guy,
yes.
Mr. Kareem.
Karam. There's a replay.
Karam's a senior, and he's 6'11", but doesn't have the muscle strength of to handle a guy like John Bowe. Bowe is going to muscle him every time.
That was an iffy call. It's Vanderbilt at the line. Check that.
He gets the roll.
Yeah, it looks like...
actually, it's Eric Johnson at the free throw line.
Eric Johnson, I'm sorry.
And Johnson's got his 3rd point there with that free throw. It sure looked like John Bowe was the one that got fouled, but... of course, their numbers are very similar. Also very similar type players, too. Eric Johnson being 6'5", John Bowe being 6'4". Both of them weigh about 220. Both of them very good basketball players, too.
Well, I will give you that much. They could be mistaken for bookends.
Crowd yelling, walk.
Also,
Vincent Mitchell, but no go.
Complaining about the dribbling expertise of the man.
IPFW on top 18-17 right now. Tim Griffin was lucky actually to come away with a ball on that one.
Nice patience by Kentucky Wesleyan.
There's a move inside. Strong move too at that. Corey Crowder, who's on fire right now. He's got 9 points in the first half. 18-19, 19-18. Kentucky Wesleyan on top by 1. 6:08 left in the first half. Good game so far, Bob. Good defensive struggle.
It's been action. It's been physical. It's been anything but boring.
Rolling with Leroy Ellis in his face. Says face, and he got the bucket. 20-19.
He's more than capable of lighting the twine from that range.
He's got 8 points. 5:45 left in the first half. Nip and tuck all the way so far here. Slam it home here for Mr. Tim Karam.
Tried to overplay, and there was no weak side help to help him out.
You know, I think maybe I could probably dunk it if I was 6'11".
I don't think I could dunk it if I was 6'11" and a step ladder. Just once, I'd like to have the dunking ecstasy, I'm thinking.
3-point attempt by Vanderbilt is long, and away with the rebound comes Tim Karam. Karam making a nice impact here in the last few minutes. 6'11" senior from San Diego.
It's not easy being 6'2".
No, it isn't, no. Leroy Ellis pass into Karam. He's going to have another possible slam, but he misses the easy layup. It wasn't that easy. He had to turn around to do a 360. But it's 21-20. Kentucky Wesleyan on top. 4:48 left here in the first half. It's been a real quick first half here so far.
Well, no timeouts by really any bench yet. And Not a whole lot of physical play, forcing either team to go to the line that often as well.
Well, so far, IPFW shut down Leroy Ellis like they've wanted to do. They haven't let him plague them like Tracy Robinson did the other night for Indiana Tech. So Leroy Ellis is going to take a seat. He's breathing hard and working hard, but has been unproductive here in the first half. Credit the defense of IPFW and a good defensive game plan, actually.
I'd be more worried about the guy who just came into the ballgame, number 44, Bobby Newton. Now, he's one of your more physical, 6'7", 220 pounds, and I don't think that guy's missed too many meals.
And a block's going to be called on number 20, Reggie Odom, who just entered the ballgame for Kentucky Wesleyan. Could have gone either way. Odom had good position, but yet still had his feet moving.
Nice quick move. Forces the contact.
Referee cleans up the floor.
That's all I was just going to say. That was only the 4th foul on Kentucky Wesleyan. And IPFW has been in the bonus for some time now.
Well, they've done a good job, actually. Kentucky Wesleyan hasn't gone to the line that much so far, and IPFW has held off the fouls once they hit the 7 mark.
Well, they've gotten a lot of clean, uncontested baskets, too, shooting from the outside and making strong moves on the inside.
Pass gets away to Vanderveld, and Jordan's going to set up the offense. 4:23 left in the first half. 21-20. Kentucky Wesleyan on top. Inside to John Bowe. Back to Bard. A little crisper pass. He could have had a wide open three-pointer, but instead, we're going to get a foul called here now. And actually, Vanderveld a little bit fortunate that he got the foul called.
I thought Newton had excellent position. He just put his hands straight up. Well, hopefully we'll see it on the replay. There he goes.
There you go.
Head fake. And
he pushed
put out his leg.
That's right. He pushed into him. He caused the contact, number 44 did, Bobby Newton, and consequently he gets a foul called on him, and Vanderveld goes to the line and misses the first one.
As we said earlier in tonight's broadcast, nice knee by Newton. Vanderveld.
Good look at Vanderveld. He makes good on the second one and has 3 points for him, and 21 for IPFW, and it's 21 for Kentucky Wesleyan with 4:11 left in the first half. Very entertaining first half, very clean played ball game. Good move, good strong move again there by Corey Crowder, who has 11 points here, and he's making a strong impact here in the first half. 23-21, Kentucky Wesleyan on top.
I don't think Piazza was real happy with how easily they broke the press of IPFW. I think he's going to make some adjustments at halftime, try to make that more of a factor.
Vanderveld from three-point territory, misses it. Rebound, Tim Griffin.
Just hasn't found his range yet tonight. He's taken a lot of shots.
Well, he missed quite a few three-pointers the other night at Indiana Tech, and he's just off with his shot right now.
Well,
Tim Griffin's wide open from three-point territory, and he's going to looks like he's going to take that shot and misses. Rebound, Jordan, and he's going to have to hold it up.
The human fast break.
Jordan,
he'll take
he's got to take it. If he's wide open, he's got to take it, but he misses it. Rebound, strong rebound by Vanderveld. Could be called for the travel, but instead he's going to be called for the push. Number 30 for Kentucky Wesleyan, Vincent Mitchell, get called for the foul.
Tough physical play under the boards. We'll see it again on replay. Biggs takes it from three-point land. Excellent position by Bowe and Vanderveld, and he goes out and he's pushed by Mitchell as he goes up for the second attempt. But I think the judgment is going to be that he was on the floor before he came up with the shot, so IPFW will take it out.
Yeah, the foul was on the push-off and the rebound before he got it. Number 20, Reggie Odom, was called for the foul. It wasn't Tim Griffin, like I stated before. Almost an over and back. Jordan did a super job in saving it. Kentucky Wesleyan fans saying he was definitely over and back.
Well, they'd say their mother was purple if it helped their team win, I suppose. Oh, what an awful thing for me to say. I apologize.
Bruce Rowland picks up the loose ball and puts it in, and IPFW has just tied it up. 2:38 left, 23-23. Well, they do wear purple, don't they? So I guess that's not such a horrible thing.
Well, you get the call. Oh, nice steal.
Quick steal by Lawrence Jordan. He's up ahead. Oh, an acrobatic move, and they're going to have a foul called on Tim Griffin. Now you wonder if Jordan should have just let that thing fly towards the bucket instead of dishing it off and possibly gotten a three-point play. As you see right here, there was the foul called. Instead of going up with it straight up to the bucket, he passed off instead of maybe possibly giving it a chance to go in for a three-point conversion.
Well, I think Jordan was gambling that the foul probably wouldn't have been called because it was a touch contact.
Well,
he knew he had Roland coming up behind him on the trailer, and he knew he'd probably light the crowd up with a tremendous slam.
That's true, too. Very good point. Very good point.
We do agree on occasion.
First points for Lawrence Jordan. There's a good look at these. See, our junior guard, and boy, we've got another year left of this guy. He's averaging 9 assists a game, and he is definitely the catalyst. If Jordan plays bad, IPFW plays bad, believe me. And that's what happened the other night. Indiana Tech just shut him down as far as his effectiveness.
Well, he was the soul and spirit of this team. He's the guts of this ball club, and he's the person that gets them excited, gets them going.
Lawrence Jordan has 2 points. There's a three-point attempt missed. Rebound, Karam, and Karam's going to go to a line, possibly, if they call that on the shot. Didn't look like he was going up for the shot, but you got to guess that he was definitely going to take a shot being that close to the basket.
Yeah, well, with his arm length, you got to reasonably assume that he's going to shoot at least somewhere.
You see in the replay there that didn't have his hand up for the shot yet, but you got to almost assume that he was going to take the shot. My goodness.
He almost hit his head on the rim. What do you expect? You know.
There's a good look at the 6'11" senior.
Somebody's hurting their neck shooting that. That guy's tall. That guy's a load.
And that's the 3rd point for Tim Karam. 6'11", but he's only 220 pounds and doesn't have a lot of meat on him. But
kind of looks like a Q-tip.
Well,
all right. That was all right. 2 awful things in one night. All right. Well,
you're on a roll.
I mean, I'm cruel and nasty for some reason tonight. Karam's a tough player. Size, moves well. There's not a whole lot of meat on him.
Not the most physical player, but he's very effective as far as intimidating underneath us, and his blocking ability is also definitely a factor.
He's an excellent shot blocker. He led the Great Lakes Valley Conference last year with 43 blocked shots last year.
Eric Johnson gets his 6th point. 26-24 IPFW on top. 1:32 left. Karam blocked by Roland. He's going to be called for the foul.
Yeah.
26-24 IPFW on top. Karam's got a chance to tie it up.
He got him on the arm. IPFW fans wanted it elsewhere. See, he tries to double pump, but you can probably tell that slapped him across the arm. They're going to call that 9 times out of 10, and when they don't, probably something wrong in the state of Denmark.
Well, it just didn't seem like it was right for Roland to get up that high and block a shot without fouling, but it was a close play. In and out. Karam misses the first one.
Somebody must have known. Maybe he felt guilty, you know?
Yeah.
That's a tough call.
Junebug Rake comes back in the ball game now for Kentucky Wesleyan. And Karam is going to shoot the second one, and that's good. Karam's got 4 points, and Kentucky Wesleyan is down by 1 now. IPFW with minute 20 left here in the first half. First half has just flown by. Benevelt inside to Roland. Strong move. He's going to be called for the offensive foul. That's 2 times tonight. And that's Roland's 2nd foul.
Ellis was just waiting on him. He knows that Roland is pretty keen on that inside drive to the basket.
Check it, Bob. That's Roland's 3rd foul, and that could be very significant here. As you can see right there, excellent position by Karam, and you can't really argue about that call.
Well, the thing that set that up was he knew that he had to drive because he had Karam on his inside. And Leroy Ellis was just able to stand right there and wait for him to drive right to him. Nice defense by the Panthers.
And the official wipes up the floor after the fiasco. Tim Griffin breaks the pressure over to Karam. He just threw it to the biggest target he could find. He couldn't see anything else. Junebug Rake now at the top of the key.
The human air traffic controller, I tell you.
Tim Griffin now at the corner, looking for some hole inside. Junebug Rake now at the top of the key is going to reset the offense with 17 on the shot clock.
Nice push
43 seconds, Leroy Ellis, and he gets it to swish home. That's Ellis's first field goal. He's got 3 points. Bard up ahead, quick move, and misses it. Just had too much steam to put that English in the ball. Junebug Rake now with the ball. Tim Griffin with a good rebound. 27-26, Kentucky Wesleyan on top. 25 seconds to go in the half. Now we're down to 15 seconds to go in the half. 27-26, Kentucky Wesleyan looking for the last shot. 8, 7, 6, and 5 seconds left. They're going to score the bucket, and they're going to call a push, and the bucket is going to be scored also.
I'm not sure. How can they call that? Piazza is also questioning that. I don't see how they can count the basket if he pushed off.
5 seconds left, 29-26. Kentucky Wesleyan on top. A questionable call there where the offensive player, apparently the shot was good on the rebound, and there was a push off on. What in the world?
Don't ask me. I'm up here befuddled. All right. Maybe we can get him up here and look at the replay.
Somebody's gonna have to tell me why that bucket was good, because you're not going to be able to. Now Wayne Chapman and the official Andy Piazza,
there they go,
are in the middle there, so they got to be discussing that. If they're going to count that bucket, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's got to be the call.
And it looks like they're going to take it right off. They sure do.
There you go.
Unbelievable fair. You don't see that very often, Bob.
See, there's the call right there. Action underneath. He's called for the push. We'll go back to live action for the free throw shot as they take the 2 points off. 5 seconds left.
Well, as it should be. I don't know how you can count a bucket when somebody was over the back. It's called for a foul, and the only reason he makes the bucket is because he committed the foul. Now, how can you call that good? There's no way.
I don't know. I'm in the wrong sport to try and explain that to you. But
they didn't, so there's no foul, no harm, no anything except a free throw by Eric Johnson. He's got a chance to now take the lead with 5 seconds left, 27 all. Seven points for Eric Johnson. He's going to try to make it 8. There's a good look at for 41. And he does. 28-27, IPFW on top. Nobody touches the ball. It's thrown out of bounds. IPFW still has 5 seconds to put some more points on the board.
What a stupid play. I'm sure he's going to hear about that in the locker room, but in halftime, Chapman's going to rip him a new one.
Oh, he's already ripping him a new one. Leroy Ellis made the mistake, and he's hearing it. He's got an earful right now. Steve Bard's going to inbound it, and he's going to throw it out to Lawrence Jordan. He's going to take the long three-pointer. If it's there, it's good. No, the follow-up by John Bowe, and he just missed it, and that's the end of the first half. The score is IPFW 28, Kentucky Wesleyan 27. An excellent ball game so far here in the first half, and we look for more in the second half. It's going to be a tight one, Bob.
It certainly hasn't been one of the prettiest ball games. Here's the last-second replay of the shot. There's Bowe with the follow, just couldn't get it to go.
Well, they had 2 good opportunities there.
2 good opportunities. That 5 seconds took a long time to tick off. As I was saying earlier, it wasn't one of your prettier halves of basketball, but it was exciting, up-tempo basketball. A lot of physical play, a lot of block shots, a lot of fast breaks. It was exciting basketball all the way around.
Well, let's go down with some leading scores here in the first half. Lawrence Jordan had 2 points. Tim Vandenveld had 3 points. These are all for IPFW. Steve Bard only had 3 points. Greg Davis had 2. Bruce Rowland had 8 points. And Eric Johnson had 8 points. So Rowland and Johnson taking the load in the first half. Corey Crowder had 11 points for Kentucky Wesleyan. That's pretty much on par with his game. He's averaging 18.4. But the story so far, Bob, and I'm sure you would agree, is Leroy Ellis with only 3 points, averaging 25. But what happened?
Well, he's the big horse for Kentucky Wesleyan. Obviously, they're sagging back and trying to shut down the avenues that Kentucky Wesleyan has been trying to force into him, so he's the big man. They've been sagging back. They've been putting John Bowe, the biggest man out there, and turning it into a physical muscle matchup. Bowe, not really known for his offensive touch. He's been really a banger and a rebounder, and he's been doing the job he's needed to do tonight. He's keeping IPFW well into this game.
That's right. We understand we're going to have another replay here to show the viewers of that last play, and maybe we can pick up a few things as far as.
There's the.
Okay, that was the play.
That was the phantom basket. Okay. There you go.
Right.
Nice call by the officials.
That was the controversial play in the first half where Wayne Chapman was pretty upset when they took those 2 points away from him. Whenever you get a point on the scoreboard and they take them away from you, and you see that up there already, it really irritates you when you see them deducted, because it just doesn't happen very often. Credit the officials for a good call in taking the points off, because they admitted they made a mistake, and you got to do that to take control of the game.
I think Chapman knew he didn't have a leg to stand on. He wanted to give them token pressure on the officials to know that he wasn't just going to let them call whatever they wanted to call whenever they felt like it, and doing his coachly duties in order to be the mouthpiece for the Panthers. He knew he didn't have a leg to stand on. He probably just felt like yelling at him for a little while. And it was, like I say, I agree with you that it was a good call by the officials to get together at half court and decide how justice should best be served.
Well, we've got about 12 to 15 minutes here before the second half resumes. There's the final shot in the first half, and the follow-up by John Bowe, who's made a tremendous impact as far as rebounds and his work underneath. He hasn't scored many points, only scored 1 point, but his rebounding and all of the things that he has to do to make this team successful, he's been doing. And we'll go now as 28 to 27 IPFW on top. We'll be back in about 10 to 11 minutes. Right now we're going to go to a halftime presentation with Arnie Ball and Dan Gabler.
Welcome to this edition of Coach's Corners. My name is Dan Gebhardt. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director at IPFW, and with us tonight is Arnie Ball, the Athletic Director and Men's Volleyball Coach. Arnie, welcome. Tell us a little bit about the upcoming season. You're getting ready to start your second season practices, I guess, here today, right?
Right. Starts this afternoon. And we're obviously looking forward to the season, especially with the schedule we've been able to put together with the kind of teams we have coming in a couple of weeks with Penn State University and defending national champion in USC and Ohio State. We think we have a great tournament to kick off our season, so we're looking forward to it.
I know that you have Jay Goldstein returning as one of your key players. Who else do you have returning, and what about some of your incoming freshmen or new players?
Well, this is probably the largest squad we've ever had. They just seem to keep filtering in. We only lost one player from last year in Phil Bodine, who was our 5-1 setter, and so we're going to have to replace that position, which is probably the most important position on the team. This fall we experimented some with Jay running some of that position, but I'm not real satisfied with that, with taking him out of the offense. So at this point, it looks like Keith Niergarter, who will be a senior, will probably be starting in their setter position with Jay on the outside and Fred Malcolm, who is a 6'5" sophomore on the outside. And they'll be doing our primarily all of our passing in our offensive scheme. And it would appear then that Tony Looning, who's also a sophomore, about a 6'4" kid, will be playing right side opposite the setter. And Tom Junkie, who is a freshman, eligibility-wise, coming in, will probably start for us along with Bob Kramer. And then we have coming in this second semester also Matt Laces, who's 6'5" middle, who could break into the starting lineup fairly quickly.
Well, I know that our viewers may not understand this. You talk a little bit about what you were doing in the preseason, the fall. What kind of workouts did you do? Didn't you play up in Canada a tournament right after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, for the past 3 or 4 years, we've gone to Thanksgiving weekend up to Canada and played at the University of Guelph in their tournament they have. The NCAA only allows us to practice and play 26 weeks in the year. So we have to break that down into fall practice and of course then during our regular season. So we started practice about the middle of September on a 3-day-a-week basis and did weight training the other 2 days a week. Did a great deal of extensive individual work, primarily skill development work, ball handling, skill development work, as well as some defensive team systems and schemes. We really didn't spend a lot of time on our offensive systems because I wasn't sure that's what we were going to do. And it's pretty much standardized. We've been doing it for the last 2 years. So the kids are pretty well aware of the system that we'll be implementing come here in a couple weeks. So the fall practice is basically an opportunity for us to train individual skills as well as work on the team defense and physical conditioning. Because physical conditioning obviously is very important. Some of our matches end up lasting 2.5, 3 hours, and that's a very long period of time to be competing. And of course, we want the kids to be able to play at the same level at the end of 3 hours as they do at the beginning of 4 or 5 minutes of the match.
Well, as I mentioned, you start your spring practice this afternoon, and you open January 20th.
January 20th, yes.
Talk a little bit about the rest of your schedule this year. I know that you're planning on going to California over spring break here. Who are some of the teams, and what kind of how do you view the schedule as toughness-wise?
Well, the schedule's the best we've ever had. We've just in the 8 years since we've had the program, it's just been a gradual progression with our schedule as far as the competition is concerned. And of course, then after having hosted the NCAA finals last spring, really kind of opened the door for us to get other top-notch quality programs on our schedule. And so we've already alluded to the fact that we have that tournament here in January in a couple of weeks. Later on in March, we have a second tournament, which includes Ball State University, which is a member of our conference, and East Stroudsburg, which is a team out of Pennsylvania, one of the highly regarded teams out east, and then University of California, Santa Barbara, which finished second in the country last year. So with our home schedule in particular, it's much better schedule than we've ever had in the past. And of course, we still have Ohio State coming in, and Ball State comes in twice, and Notre Dame, Graceland College, which is also in our conference. So our schedule is our home schedule in particular is much better than it's ever been. We are going to go to California. We'll be going to San Diego. We'll be in San Diego for 4 days, playing the University of San Diego and San Diego State. While we're there, we'll also spend 1 day training with the national team. And our kids are looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll be going up to Los Angeles and play Pepperdine University, which is a new school on our schedule, but one of the perennial powers in the country. So our schedule lends itself to being very difficult, but that's part of the reason why we've tried to put together the program like we have.
What do you have to do as a team, success-wise, to receive an NCAA bid? I know that last year there was a little bit of controversy. Penn State was certainly expected to be here all year long, and at the end they got beat in their conference tournament and weren't selected. Isn't there some discussion about a new format to find the fourth team coming to the Final Four?
There is some discussion about having a playoff to determine the fourth-place team. We'll be taking the second and third-place team from the California League, be the second-place team from our league here in the Midwest, and second-place team from out east, and taking those 4 teams together at one site, and then taking the winner of that tournament to be the fourth-place team. I understand the NCAA has not approved that. If indeed that does take place, it would have to be on the expense of each institution. I would like to see that happen. I do not know whether it's going to happen yet this year.
Well, then, for us to compete, then we need to really compete with the teams in our conference. And as you mentioned 3 or 4 a little while ago, really there are only 2 that we really compete with as for that bid. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. In the past, as well as this year, it's Ball State, Ohio State, and us. And you know, we've never won the conference, never had a chance to go to the tournament, and obviously that's one of our goals is to be able to do that, to be able to compete in the Final Four out at UCLA in May. And it just becomes a matter of competing on the conference schedule to determine the seeding for the tournament, which is to be held at Ohio State this year, and the following year then it comes back to Fort Wayne. And the winner of that tournament in the past has been selected then to participate in the Final Four.
What do you know about both Ohio State and Ball State at this point? Is it too early yet to ask that question of you?
No, I think I can tell you about everything they'll do already. Ohio State has everybody back. And they have one outstanding player. They're a real hard-working, real gutsy team. We've always had trouble beating them over there, and in, of course, past year they had trouble beating us over here. So I would expect a real hard-fought Donnybrook with them every time we play this year. Ball State has their setter back, which is an All-American player, and he's an outstanding player. Chris Bierman from here in Fort Wayne is back. Those are the two major players that they have back. Mike Freed, who's the senior middle blocker for them. Other than that, their personnel is pretty much untested. So they're going to be an unknown a little bit, even though we saw them play in Canada, and they're very predictable in what they're going to do, but they execute very well. So that means we have to do the same thing. So as far as knowing what those two teams are going to do, I think I already know. Of course, they probably already know what we're going to do, too, so it'll just be a matter of who executes the best.
I'm going to switch topics on you here a little bit. Recently, you announced your resignation as the women's volleyball coach. Can you give us a little bit of insight into that decision, the difficulties and the reasons and those kinds of things?
Well, the primary reason, I guess, is that I really feel that the two programs have outgrown one person. There just isn't enough time in the day or in the week for me to be able to recruit for both programs and try and train both programs and for them to continue to grow as they have grown in the past. And I felt very strongly that the women's program and the men's program needed more individual attention from the head coach. And I just wasn't able to do that. Of course, there's some underlying reasons as well. My family, I have 3 children at home, and my son and my daughter both play basketball, and I want a chance to watch them play and do some things with them. And I need to spend a little time at home just seeing what home's like. And there's a third reason. I think with being athletic director here, I need to spend more time and give more attention to our teams and the things that we do. And I need to go to ball games, and I need to be around, as well as obviously have to do some fundraising, some things of that nature. And fourthly, I'm going to be coaching this summer at the world level in the World University Games, and it appears that if indeed I'm interested in doing anything over and beyond coaching at the collegiate level, that the men's area seems to be the area that I may have an opportunity to do that. And so that's another reason why I decided to allow Lisa then to have the women's team.
Honey, we're out of time. We really appreciate you coming tonight. I want to mention to our viewers there that they can get tickets for those 2 tournaments either by calling the athletic department here at IPFW or through Fort Wayne National Bank. They can get those applications. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of Coach's Corner.
That was Supermen. And now, Magnum.
PFW, this is Mike Neely along with Bob Kramer, and we've got an excellent game here so far, 28-27. IPFW is ahead, and Bob, we've got some halftime statistics.
Yeah, I got them right here. Score, of course, 27-28. Both teams shooting 40% from the field. Kentucky Wesleyan 11 for 27. IPFW 10 for 25. Three-point range 1 for 4 for 25% for the Panthers, 1 for 7 for 14% for the Mastodons. Big story here, IPFW out-rebounding the taller, stronger Panthers 20-17. The leading scorers for both squads, Rowland and Crowder. Rebounding, the 6'11", Karam with 4. John Bowe doing his job, out-rebounding for 6. And there's only 2 players in foul trouble in the first half. That's Greg Davis with 3, and Bruce Rowland was 3.
Both teams have the same starters except for IPFW. Leonard Fox will replace Lawrence Jordan to start the second half, and it's 28-27. We've got a full second half of exciting IPFW basketball on Channel 23, your cable access connection to IPFW Sports. We hope you enjoyed the halftime presentation. Dan Gebhardt and the assistant athletic director interviewing the athletic director, Arnie Ball, and men's volleyball coach.
Don't I know it?
Bobby's coach, that is. Bob Kramer.
Bobby.
The senior sensationalist.
You keep trying to say that. It's really getting annoying, you know?
I know. Leonard Fox is going to hold up the offense, direct him, try to get a good shot inside.
That and dunk ecstasy.
And we don't want to overdo these things now.
Thank God.
Fox at the top of the key. IPFW extremely patient for a shot like that. I have no idea why, but Bo misses it. Air ball 28-27. IPFW on top, 19-14 left. They took up the whole shot clock for a three-point try with 3 guys in his face.
Well, Bo knows that wasn't a good shot.
Well, he had no choice. The shot clock was just about done.
Well, hopefully you want to get at least a little, he didn't even get Pella on that, you know? Didn't even get anything on the glass. Tough defense starting out for the Mastodons, doing a little matchup underneath.
Tim Griffin is directing the offense. Here he is with the ball. Leonard Fox on him.
They'll probably try to spring Leroy Ellis and go right after Bo.
They do, but Tuesday night. Wesleyan Lumber has donated the clapping blocks for tonight's game, and boy, they're a pleasant sound.
The Mazda blocks, I tell you, I may get those Wesleyan Lumber guys one of these days, but I tell you, I can't think of a more annoying noise, but I guess that's...
Turnover. Rowland with the steal. Passes to Bard. Bard, boy, he had a tough shot, and he was fortunate to get the foul call. Tim Griffin will be called for the foul, but that was questionable.
IPFW is starting to finally get some turnovers as a result of their full court pressure. Piazza obviously made some adjustments in the locker room at halftime, and he's really seeing some of the results here in the second half.
Bard with 9 points. Will try to add to that 6-point lead. Good look at the senior. And he misses the first one.
Bard's usually a better free throw shooter than that.
Steve Bard's shooting 88%, that's right. And he makes the second one. And that gives Bard 10 points on the
excellent
evening.
Another turnover again.
And now John Bolt comes up with the ball and hands it out to Steve Bard. He's going to set up the offense. Vandenveld to Bard. Bard to Rowland. Rowland to Bard. Bard inside to John Bow, and it's almost stolen, but he gets it back out to Bard. Inside to Bow, and an errant pass inside at the feet of Greg Davis, and it goes off of Kentucky Wesleyan. 39-32, IPFW on top.
Bow tried to force a pass. I thought he had made a good move on Karam, but he decided to make one more pass, try to get an easier basket. But he threw it down at his feet.
Bow, strong move inside. He is absolutely mauled by Leroy Ellis. Ellis begging his case, pleading his case, saying he put the elbow into me. I didn't foul him, but somebody fouled somebody. As you can see right there.
Sometimes there's just no justice in the world, you know?
7-point lead for IPFW. John Bow with only 1 point, but he's also got 8 rebounds in this game, so that's been a big story. He's been a force on the boards, and he can add to his point total in the lead right now. He does. 40-32 IPFW.
All these points are resulting as a result of the Mastodon full court pressure, and Piazza's got to be real happy about that. Finally seeing some sort of fruition of his efforts.
John Bow is a man possessed all over the court right now, as IPFW has built up a 9-point lead with 14:10 left in the ball game.
The question is, can they hold on to that lead? Kentucky Wesleyan is not going to sit back on their heels and let him run all over him.
Tim Griffin is going to slow the offense down. Kentucky Wesleyan 2-2 in the GLVC, but 2 of their losses are very close losses. One to Bellarmine, one to Lewis by extremely close scores, it is. That could almost went in. But Leroy Ellis is going to get called for the foul. That could be his third.
Bow made a nice move on the inside to keep that ball alive out of the hands of both Leroy Ellis and Bobby Newton.
Now, foul's called on Mitchell. That was his first. But IPFW with some excellent defense and a good blocking out on the missed shot.
That's what Piazza wants to do with his full court pressure, is emotionally charge his offense on the other side.
Vandenveld from three-point land, he misses. Just missed. Greg Davis with a strong rebound throws it to Kingdom Come, but he's going to get called for a jump ball, possibly.
No, I think they're going to call a foul. Davis had excellent position underneath, was able to come away with the ball. The only thing the defender could do was probably hang on to his arm.
Well, Wayne Chapman's got to feel like he's getting a raw end of the stick here, as Kentucky Wesleyan has 6 fouls this half. IPFW has yet to be called for a foul, so you can almost understand his frustration.
Well, they had the same discrepancy. There was at one point IPFW had 7, and Western Kentucky had 2 at the same time, so I think they're evening out.
Well, I'm glad you're here to keep that straight, I tell you.
Well, if I wasn't, somebody else would be. Oh, excellent shot.
Vanderveld from three-point range. That's his second three-pointer. He's got 9 points. IPFW's got a 12-point lead now. 12:54 left in the ball game.
Physical play underneath again. Leroy Ellis looking to space clear. Looking like a dustbuster out there.
Kentucky Wesleyan blocked by Greg Davis. Big, strong rebound. And they're not going to call a traveling, but they're going to call a foul on John Bowe. But Bowe wasn't even near the play.
Looked like Reggie Odom was out of control when he got the ball. He started leaning back. Here's the replay.
Bowe's just, look at that. The Bowe's just standing there, and he just falls right into him. He didn't do anything, so. We've got a 44-32 score. IPFW on top by 12. 12 and a half minutes left. What do you think, Bob? Is it panic time yet for Kentucky Wesleyan?
Oh, no, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's 12:29, and you got a bunch of big boys. You make a quick run, you're right back in this ball game, especially with shots like that.
Yeah, that helps. Number 23, Corey Crowder, who's got now 22 points in the ball game. Or should I say 17 points.
Crowder's tough.
Crowder again. Slams it home, and he's going to get called. A foul is going to be called on Greg Davis. Corey Crowder putting on a show.
Stupid foul by Davis. He had him beat.
There he is right there. Showtime.
Had him beat.
19 points now for Crowder. He can make it 20. It's 44-37. And now Kentucky Wesleyan has cut the lead down to single digits.
Best thing you can do with that is just give him the two and try to get him back on the other end of the court. Greg Davis, no chance, no possibility of blocking that shot, especially when Davis gets that close to the hole.
Corey Crowder averaging 18.4 a game. He's 6'5", and he plays every inch of it. Carrollton, Georgia is his hometown. Lawrence Jordan breaks the pressure.
12 minutes left. It's way too early to start getting tentative.
Now it's only a 6-point lead, cut right in half, just in about a span of about a minute and a half. And John Bowe makes an extremely strong move, but is called for the offensive foul. Let's see if the bucket counts.
Bowe called for the foul, and they won't count the basket. We'll look at it again.
They haven't counted the basket yet. They never said whether it counted or didn't count. Let's look at this replay again here. That was well before or after the shot. It was released. Apparently we're not going to have the replay, but anyway.
Let me be frank and say that was a brutal call.
There we can see the replay
Odom
right
was
here.
just
we can see right here. He lets go of it, and then comes the foul. So.
Oh, it was closer than I thought, but he was still moving his feet, open to lean in on Bowe.
But to not call that basket good when it was clearly after or before the foul is kind of funny, I guess. Except for the one in the first half.
More heated action at the other end.
Yeah, it's getting heated up now. 11:33 left. 11 and a half minutes. 44-38, a 6-point lead for IPFW. Both sides now are getting called for the fouls. There's 6 fouls now for Kentucky Wesleyan, and 4 quickly have been called to even things out against the Mastodons.
Well, the foul calls on Bowe have really hurt the Mastodons. He's been their mainstay, their big anchor. You get him out of the ball game, you can just bet that Kentucky Wesleyan is just going to slam it home inside every chance they're going to be able to. IPFW will probably try to counter with a fast break offense. Try to get the game back into an up-tempo swing where they were so successful earlier this half.
Jordan pass inside to Davis. Lost by Rowland.
And he's
picked up by Kentucky Wesleyan. They're going to have to get it away, and they do. They get past the line. Junebug takes it all the way.
Nice move.
Junebug with a nice move and to steal it. No, he can't quite save it, but great hustle. Wayne Chapman picks him up and says, hey, hey, hey. Great job.
Excellent hustle by the Junebug. And Piazza has seen enough. He's seen a 10-point lead almost disintegrate to 3.
Now Kentucky Wesleyan has got right back into this ball game, and Wayne Chapman is fired up. He picked his player up right literally by the jock strap and said, let's go, 44-41. 11-10 left in the ball game, and we're going to have a barn burner, Bob, I believe.
Literally picked him up. That would hurt, wouldn't it?
Well,
that'd be a painful kind of thing.
Saw it as well,
especially on. Here we'll see it again. The rolling around on the floor. No traveling call caused. And Junebug makes the nice look off, and he'll take it right over the diminutive Biggs.
Now you can see the hustle by Junebug Rakes, and here comes the coach. He picks it up. What'd I tell you?
Oh my goodness! my goodness. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Nice work by the cameraman, and tell you, Bobby, you do stand corrected. I'll have to rub it in your face on that.
I'm sorry. I thought this was a family show. I didn't think we'd have to see that twice. Apparently, we have some sick and twisted minds here on the technical crew. Well, you got to kind of expect that.
And they're going to show it again here.
Oh, God, I hope not. Well, there he goes. He goes.
Wayne Chapman getting excited.
Doing the travel all. Here we go. We just had to see that again, didn't we?
44-41. Let's get back into this ball game. It's 11-10 left here in the ball game. And we've got a tight one. 3-point lead for IPFW.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be directors. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that later.
Lawrence Jordan. He's going to have to get past the line. He does. Over to Vandenveld. Vandenveld in the corner. And it's out of bounds.
Oh, they'll call the travel.
Davis.
Tough call, but that's what they'll do. Another turnover caused by Kentucky Wesleyan. IPFW is really falling apart here.
An unforced turnover, too. I mean, it had nothing to do with IPFW or Kentucky Wesleyan's defense either. That's the kind to kill you. 44-41 still.
Well, Kentucky Wesleyan's gotten off and started turning into a more aggressive, physical defense. Gambling a lot more. And there's my favorite man, the Junebug, inbounding the ball.
Junebug Rakes has been what you would call a spark bug tonight.
Spark bug.
Rakes at the top of the key. Over to Leroy Ellis, and Ellis is long on the shot. He's a little bit off on his shot tonight. Good hustle by IPFW, but it goes out of bounds on Steve Bard, and it will go back to Kentucky Wesleyan.
Kentucky Wesleyan's just got the base court out. Man, they bring in Poe, try to counter Leroy Ellis.
Crowder, the leading scorer in the ballgame so far. Takes the shot, Mitchell takes the shot, and tipped up and in by Leroy Ellis. And he makes his presence known underneath. That's 7 for him.
I tell you, folks, but it's a one-point ball game once again.
Rowland misses. Rebound, Crowder. Corey Crowder. Junebug with the pass ahead to Ellis, and it's good. And now Kentucky Wesleyan has taken the lead, 45-44. 10 minutes and 5 seconds left in the ball game. It's completely turned around from a 12-point deficit to a 1-point lead in the span of 5 minutes.
The 2 quick fouls on Bo has really sparked the difference. Piazza forced to take Bo out of the ball game real quickly, and that served as an incentive for Kentucky Wesleyan to start attacking this Mastodon defense.
Bo's back in now, and they'll see if his presence inside can help IPFW. He hasn't scored a lot of points, but he's gotten a lot of rebounds and has really intimidated the shots. And he makes his presence known. That's what they needed right there. That gives Bo 5 points, and a very important point at that. 46-45, IPFW up by 1. 9 minutes, 20 seconds in the ball game. And the bucket's going to be called good. Foul on Bo, and it's going to be Bo's 4th foul. And now Kentucky Wesleyan can go up by 2 now. They're ahead 47-46 on the bucket by Corey Crowder. Crowder's on fire.
Bo was completely unaware that Crowder was behind him, so when the pass came underneath the rim, Bo was just a half a step late getting there, and he's called for the foul.
Corey Crowder's got 22 points, and he's going to add to that total right now. 22 points out of their 47, as you see the good pass from, I believe that was Junebug. Junebug Rakes.
It's got to be.
Now, who else?
Even if it wasn't, you just got to say the name, you know?
Okay. Corey Crowder, 6'5" sophomore from Carrollton, Georgia. Corey's got 22 points, as I mentioned. 205-pound sophomore. We got 2 more years of that guy. He's quite a basketball player.
He's a horse, I'll tell you that much.
He's got 23 now, 48-46. Kentucky Wesleyan with the lead. 9 minutes and 5 seconds now left in the ball game. Bruce Rowland almost gets it stolen, picked up by Jordan.
Almost gets mugged. And
somebody did get mugged. It's Tim Griffin.
outside the athletic center, that guy'd be getting 3 to 5 years right now. I don't know if Sargent did a nice acting job on that, but he'll take it.
I believe he did a very good job at acting.
If we could see that again, maybe. Maybe I'm relying too much on instant replay. Am I asking too much down there, guys? I guess I'm not. Thanks, guys. There's Sargent hitting the deck. Thanks, guys. Thanks for not letting me look bad.
And Sargent misses it. That was an important free throw. 46-48. IPFW can ill afford to miss the free throws when they have the opportunities. 48-46. Kentucky Wesleyan up by 2. 8:45 left in the ball game. Corey Crowder, you can't leave him open because he's on fire right now, and if he gets open inside, he's going to can it. Crowder with the ball on the outside, over to Junebug Rakes. Rakes at the top of the key. He's going to set the offense and slow it down.
The good players always rise to the occasion. When Wesleyan was down by 12 or 13, you knew who was going to get the ball. Oh, that's got to be a foul, but there's nothing called.
And Corey Crowder picks up the garbage bucket. And IPFW is down by 4. We're going to call a blocking foul on Kentucky Wesleyan. And so now Steve Bard will go to the line. And Steve Bard's going to have to convert for IPFW to stay in this ball game.
That's Odom's 4th. See, there's the drive by Bard. Odom just sort of leans in on him as he makes the nice move.
50-46. Kentucky Wesleyan with the lead. 8:11 left in the ball game, and Steve Bard is going to be at the line to shoot 1 plus the bonus. Corey Crowder for Kentucky Wesleyan with 25 points. He's having a career game here. Averages 18. There's a good look at Steve Bard. Steve Bard averaging 19.7 points a game for IPFW, the leading scorer.
IPFW down by 3 right now. They can ill afford to get down by more than 2 possessions because Kentucky Wesleyan they do have that famed knockout punch. They will go after you once they smell the blood.
12 points now for Steve Bard, and he cuts the lead to 2, 50-48. Kentucky Wesleyan being pressured. Jordan on Rakes. Jordan. Rakes passes over to number 30. That's Vincent Mitchell, and Junebug Rakes is at the top of the key now. He's on the side. He's going to look for a hole inside, but can't find anywhere to go with it. Except to Mr. Karam, and Mr. Karam makes a strong move inside, and he's got 6 points, the 6'11 senior. Jordan wide open, over to Greg Davis.
Nice move. Beautiful move by Davis just to hold on to that ball and then make a strong move to the rim. Put it down with authority.
Boy, Davis wanted a foul called on that too, and I'm not so sure he wasn't fouled. 52-50. Kentucky Wesleyan hanging tough now. 2-point lead.
I think he'll be happy with the dunk, you know.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he'll bitch too much.
I'd be happy with 1 dunk my entire life.
Averaging 1 a lifetime.
I mean, I wouldn't mind just doing one on a trampoline. 52-50, 7.5 minutes left. It's a tight one, folks. We've got a barn burner and a belly flopper here tonight. I don't know what that means, but
it's excitement. It's excitement. That's all we know. That's all we care to know.
Junebug Rakes at the top of the key. The man with the name. Corey Crowder is going to have to be called for the offensive foul, and he is. He had no choice but to call that one. And Corey Crowder is tied up. It's 52-50 now. IPFW will get the ball out of bounds in the player control foul.
Beautiful positioning by Sargent. He seems to be doing most of his best work on his back lately. He's fighting for playing time, especially with as deep a bench as IPFW does. He's fighting for all he can get.
Rollins in the corner, over to Bard. Vanderveld from three-point land, and it's long. Karam's going to be called for over the back, the 6'11 senior, and reached right over Surgeon, and Surgeon's going to go to the line on the good position rebound.
Surgeon had a beat on the positioning. See Karam looking right there. He's shoving Greg Davis around, and then he gets the nice back time on Surgeon.
I'm going to have to give Surgeon 2 points so far. Both fouls that he drew were some
he's earned them.
Pretty good acting jobs, too. I mean, when you look at it.
I don't know. He's been run into. He may have accentuated the action, but the boy will be icing, I'll tell you that much.
Surgeon with his first point of the game, and it's 52-51. IPFW is only down by 1 now with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the ball game.
I mean, I know he's 6'5" and 215, but...
And he gets the second one. It's tied up, 52 all. Don't go away, folks. We've got ourselves quite a ball game here. 6:48 left in the entire game, that is.
Brought to you exclusively by Channel 23 Sports. Oh my goodness, folks. Don't know what to tell you about that one. Nice acting job by somebody.
As Bob said, you're watching Cable Access Channel 23, your college connection to IPFW basketball.
There's the action right there. And Surgeon can't believe it.
I don't know. I tell you, Surgeon was giving him the old rough hand one too many times.
Looked like an episode from the Twilight Zone out here. Couldn't believe it.
What?
Saying, how could you call that on me? You're looking at another game, pal.
Junebug passes off to Vincent Miller, and up the top to Corey Crowder. Crowder's dangerous.
The one-on-one playground move.
Foul is going to be called. And boy, I tell you, Lloyd Surgeon is really, really livid about that foul call. It should have been a jump ball, actually, but
I think Surgeon has every right to be. The referee furthest away from the action called the foul, while the guy who was standing 5 feet away decided to let him play on, thinking it was the closest one to the action. Can't believe the call. And I can't say that I don't blame him.
Now Junebug's only 6'2", and Surgeon's 6'5". There's Junebug Rakes. Rakes has got 3 points, 6:14 left. Kentucky Wesleyan on top by 1, 53-52. I still like to meet that guy's parents, man. I'll tell you, I just want to know what the deal is.
Maybe it's a nickname. It's got to be a nickname. I'll look it up sometime after the game. Davis, unselfish play.
Boy, Rowland could have been called for traveling there, but he was fortunate. He got the bucket, the easy bucket. And Rowland now has 13 points. 54 all, 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the ball game. We've got a tight one, folks. Corey Crowder, Mr. Dangerous, at the top of the key, makes the move on Bard. He gets caught in the air and passes off to Vincent Mitchell, and Mitchell cans a three-pointer, 57-54.
He shot that with authority, didn't he?
5 points for Mitchell. An important shot. 5:34 left in the ball game, and it's 57-54. Kentucky Wesleyan on top.
A test of a good team is seeing how many people want the ball when it becomes crunch time. Mitchell, not one of the offensive leaders out there. He said he wants that ball. I'm going to get it.
Good point. Vanderveld fakes the three-point shot. Bard, he will take it, and he's short. An air ball. Ellis with the rebound. Up ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell, he's going to take it again, and he gets it to fall. Pressure shots by Vincent Mitchell. All of a sudden, he's got 7 points, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-point lead.
Thought Bard had excellent positioning. There was a no call on that. Just ran right over the much smaller Bard. Good move to the hole, but we'll see it again on replay. Here's Bard. He's just waiting there, sort of, and boom. Maybe a nice acting job on that, too.
Foul. I think it was a good no call, Bob.
I would tend to agree with you.
5 minutes left, exactly. 59-54, Kentucky Wesleyan. Nail-biting time right now. John Bowe with the ball. Over to Eric Johnson. Johnson to Rowland. Rowland to Bard. Bard with the shot. intimidated.
Oh, a nice move
by Leroy Ellis, but that was an unbelievable shot.
Nice move by Bard to arc it over the outstretched arm of Leroy Ellis.
14 for Bard. 59-56 three-point lead for Kentucky Wesleyan. 4:28 left.
Nice to have a turnover right here.
Vincent Mitchell with the ball in the corner. Don't want to leave him open from three-point territory. Junebug rakes against Lawrence Jordan.
Look for him to work right
Corey
there.
Crowder is ice water in his veins. 62-56, 4:13 left in the ball game, and a timeout is called, and a badly needed timeout by IPFW as they're down by 6 now.
What IPFW is going to have to do to get back into this ball game, knot it up, is to start getting some turnovers as they did earlier in the second half. Force some turnovers on the offensive end, and start to cause things to happen to break up that up-tempo of Kentucky Wesleyan. Kentucky Wesleyan having most of their way in this quick run, putting it to a 6-point lead here with 4:13 remaining in the second half.
Yeah, Bob, you know, Leroy Ellis has only scored 7 points. He averages 25, but Corey Crowder now has 28 points. He averages 18.4, and he's made some buckets that have just been so crucial here down the stretch so far. 62-56, and credit Vincent Mitchell for taking the three-pointer and the open shots when he had them.
There's not a whole lot you can say about Crowder, other than he's just been awesome in this second half, really doing the number outside, inside, wherever side you want to put him on.
Look for IPFW to either go with Rowland or Bard from the outside. Bard with 18 points, 19 points now in the night. Rowland's got 18.
I think
13, that is.
I think it's a little too early to start thinking three-point land. I think you want to get some good, solid possessions, get the necessary points, and then when you make the baskets, be able to set up your defense on the inbound pass.
4:13 left.
Stoppage of play. For some reason.
And they're going to clean up the floor there from the last collision there where somebody fell down and got the floor a little bit wet. So now we're going to take a little time here to do a little janitorial work.
IPFW still can afford to be patient. It's only 4:13 left. They're only down by 6. They need to get some good, solid positions, work it probably into Bo, or if they get a wide open Steve Bard, let him shoot that.
Rowland pressured by Junebug Rakes. Jordan in the corner over to Bard. Bard with the ball, gets double teamed. Back to Jordan. Bard almost wide open, but gets covered up quickly by Junebug Rakes. Jordan back over to Eric Johnson. Johnson to Jordan.
Rowland needs to be more active on this possession. He's just standing around the baseline, not doing a whole lot to get himself in an offensive mind.
Bard makes the move, and he misses the shot. No foul called. Leroy Ellis with the rebound. IPFW is down by 6.
This is a critical possession for Kentucky Wesleyan. They can start setting their offense and defense up with a 8-point lead, and they'll be well in the driver's seat if they get 2 here.
3 minutes and 15 seconds left. Not much time now. 6-point deficit for IPFW, Kentucky Wesleyan. And now we could have a 5-second call, but no, a timeout is called just in time. Number 30, a good play, good smart heads-up play by Vincent Mitchell.
Well-coached team, you get in trouble, call a timeout, save the 5 possession. Here's the action down at the other end.
So you can see the pressure.
May have called the foul. Hell of an acting job there by Eric Johnson, but
well, let's be a little bit adamant about it there, Bob.
well, anytime the guy throws up rice and confetti when he gets fouled.
It's 3 minutes and 7 seconds, guys. It's not panic time yet, is it, Bob? I asked you about panic time for Kentucky Wesleyan a while back, and you know, they played within their game plan and really just stuck with it, and that's the key to what they've been doing so far.
Well, Chapman's well aware of his team, that they're capable of producing good spurts of offense when they need to. You're down by 12, and you got plenty of time left. There's no reason to start doing unnecessary, foolish, gambling things when you got that much time. and you got the horses that you do.
Well, you don't think that man's a competitor, Wayne Chapman?
That would be an understatement.
His son kind of coach. Kentucky Wesleyan.
You look under Webster's, under competitor, you may see a subheading under that guy.
Under 3 minutes now. Under 3 minutes and a possible steal. It might have gone out on Kentucky Wesleyan, but no, they're going to call it out on the IPFW.
50-50 call, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't know if they'll recycle it, but an important possession.
3 seconds on the shot clock. 62-56. They might add another 5 seconds
I
onto
think
it.
so. Seems to be some discrepancy on how much time should be on that shot clock with 2:52 left. We're seeing it at 3. Don't know what the college rule is, especially in the GLVC. Who knows what it could be? It could be a coin flip for all I know.
Now we've got a 6-point ball game, and that could mean a lot because 8 seconds sure is a lot more time to get off a shot than 3 seconds. And it's not going to be in IPFW's favor if they add another 5 on it.
I'm telling you one thing, Mike. If they start coming up here and looking on our monitor, I'm leaving. I'm going home.
There's a good shot of Wayne Chapman, the competitive, fiery coach of Kentucky Wesleyan, whose son, as I mentioned before, Rex Chapman, who played for the Charlotte Hornets of the NBA. Rex Chapman, a great star for Kentucky. And Wayne Chapman's won the national title with Kentucky Wesleyan Division II NCAA.
And it appears they're not going to reset the clock. It'll just stay at 3 seconds.
Break for IPFW. Steal. And it goes out of bounds to IPFW. And now they're going to have a conference and try to figure out which way it's going to go. And it is IPFW's ball.
Nice job by the officials to get together, get their heads together, and decide what they should call the right call.
Jordan is going to have to set up the offense now and get a good shot. They have to get a good shot on this possession. 2:47, 6-point lead.
If they get 2 here, they're in good shape.
Bard from three-point land. It's long. Rebound, Leroy Ellis, and he's been a force on the boards. Long pass to Junebug Rakes, and no foul.
Force it back up. Catch him in transition while they're celebrating.
And now it's an 8-point lead. Kentucky Wesleyan with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the ball game. Has got an 8-point lead, 64-56.
Now you got to look for
Bard, drive inside, acrobatic move, almost got it to fall.
And they're going to call the charge.
He finally got a charge called on him, and that's a tough one. That is a tough call. 2:17 left. 8-point lead for Kentucky Wesleyan, and it looks like a player control foul is going to be called a 1-and-1 now.
There's the action right there. Excellent positioning. They'll send Vincent Mitchell to line. Piazza will call a timeout, too. 2-7. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Junebug Rakes made the last bucket for Kentucky Wesleyan, and he's got 5 points, but his 5 points have nothing to do with what he's meant to this team tonight. He's coming in a substitution role, and Junebug has played inspirational, I mean, really inspirational basketball. Wayne Chapman, I'm sure, likes what he sees. And Junebug, I just think, was one of the main, if not, along with Corey Crowder, one of the main spark plugs of this whole comeback and this whole second half.
He's been a fine catalyst coming off the Wesleyan bench, really running the offense, settling them down, getting the good shots, the shots that need, especially not panicking when they're down by 12 points with 12 minutes to go. He didn't see any panic on that Panther bench, nor out there on the floor. Retained their composure, and they've stormed back to an 8-point lead with about 2 minutes left to go.
And credit Corey Crowder tonight so far with 28 points. Leroy Ellis with only 7 points, but he's gotten 5 rebounds in the last 5 minutes that have been extremely crucial. Bobby Newton shooting some big free throws right now. 56 for IPFW, 64 for Kentucky Wesleyan. Missed. Rebound, John Bowe. IPFW can cut the lead now. 8-point deficit.
That's big. That's a big play right there.
Vandenveld inside to Bowe. To Vandenveld from three-point land. He passes the shot up, and now he throws up a long shot. Rebound rolling. Rolling to Bard, back to Roland. Roland's going to take the three-pointer, possibly. It's short. Rebound, Kentucky Wesleyan. Leroy Ellis again ahead to Crowder. Crowder is pulling.
Excellent block. That was all ball.
And Bard's going to be called for the foul. And that's a bad sign because Crowder is an excellent free throw shooter.
Normally, as much as you know, I hate to disagree with the referees, but that was all ball. From that vantage point, I don't know if you could see from our handheld camera down on the line, but Crowder made a strong move, but Bard coming from the weak side from behind him, stripped him from behind. Nice move, but he's called for the foul.
IPFW has missed some crucial shots down the stretch that have really hurt him. Corey Crowder gets the first one to drop. He's got 29 points, can make it 30 on the night with this free throw. And could make it a 10-point lead also, and he does. Kentucky Wesleyan with a 10-point lead, a minute 49 left.
Mike, you asked me about panic time. Well, here it is.
Van Velt, three-pointer.
Ball strong on the board.
Ellis with another strong rebound. Leroy Ellis. The big guy at 6'8", 230 pounds of pure muscle. That guy has really made his presence felt tonight. Tim Griffin gets hammered by Van Velt, no call.
Wesleyan in absolutely no hurry.
Crowder to Ellis. Ellis, he's going to make the move inside with a crazy right-handed layup, but is called for the foul on the rebound. And I don't think Wayne Chapman liked that too well. 1:14 left.
Kind of silly, you're up by 10. Don't need an unnecessary foul on your offensive end. Trying to be aggressive, but call for over the back.
66-56, 1:14 left, and we're going to go to the line now. The clock is stopped, so IPFW can cut the lead with no time running off the clock.
There you see it, 56-66. It's not looking good, folks, to be honest. As I like to call it, it's divine providence time.
Bucket by Van Velt. And he's got 10 points now. Make that 11. 66-58, 8-point lead, 1:14 left. IPFW's got to pressure him now and play some
full court trapping.
Corey Crowder to Junebug. Junebug with the ball now.
This may be a good time to send somebody to the foul line because if they play keep away like this, it'll be just too much, too little, too late.
Junebug gets fouled, no call. Crowder is going to make the move now. And throws it back out.
By Crowder.
Crowder inside to Ellis. Ellis gets tied up by Rollins, gets called for the foul, and Ellis will go to the line. 8-point lead.
Folks, Crowder's only a sophomore. Playing like a senior, or fifth year senior.
Timeout's called by IPFW with an 8-point lead. Kentucky Wesleyan in the driver's seat with 47 seconds left, 66-58.
IPFW fans starting to break for the exit. Ill tidings for hopes of a comeback.
You're watching Cable Access Channel 23, exciting IPFW basketball action. Your college connection to IPFW sports. 47 seconds left. 66-58 is our score. Kentucky Wesleyan on top, and the crowd starting to take off here. Anything can happen, but it's panic time now with 8-point deficit with 47.
Well, like you said earlier, something strange could happen, but probability of that happening, slim, none, and non-existent. And in that order.
And all three count. Now, Leroy Ellis looks a lot like, I don't know if he's any relation, he looks a lot like Dale Ellis for the Seattle Supersonics. He's that big. 6'8", 230, and he's got the physique to be in the NBA as far as his physique.
Yeah, they look like they carry the same weight. Ellis trying to put it way out of reach.
It's the first one to fall. That's 8 points for him. Not nearly as high as his average. He averages 25 points, but he's contributed in ways that you can't measure as far as points.
Piazza, as you see, not very happy camper right now. Can you blame him?
Jordan's going to push it up quickly. Over to Bard. Bard's going to try to take the three-pointer, knocked away. Great defense, air ball, and pulled away by Vincent Mitchell. And we go down to the end of the court again.
Kentucky Wesleyan is not the type of ball club that's going to let a lead like this slip away with 34 seconds. I hate to say it. They're well coached, well disciplined. They're a smart team. Here's that desperation three-point try. Barely hitting the rim, and then Vanderbilt going after the ball, hopefully trying to strip it, but good positioning by Vincent Mitchell. He'll go to the line.
Well, they did what they wanted to do. They had to get it to Bard because he's really their only shot as far as coming back and getting the three-pointers to go down, but almost an impossible task now with a 10-point deficit, even though Mitchell missed that. Mitchell had 8 points. Vanderbilt from three-point land. He gets it to fall. That's 3 there. Vanderbilt with 14 points. A timeout is going to be called, and a foul by Steve Bard.
7 points.
7-point deficit, 24 seconds. It's not over yet.
You think I was too harsh, a little too quick with my judgment?
No, I don't, but...
stick around and probably find out. We'll see who wills out.
With Corey Crowder at the line, he's not what you call your absolutely sensational foul shooter, but he's very adequate at 70% and very adequate there also.
Well, to use your phrase, something strange could happen, but it won't.
31 points for Corey Crowder. Corey Crowder with 32. And that, my folks, just about did it.
Bard from another time zone.
And it went up in another time zone also and came down in the hands of Vincent Mitchell. He'll go to the line. 18 seconds left, 70-61, 9-point lead. Vincent Mitchell could just, nail another coffin, or another nail in the coffin, that is.
I'm afraid it's all over except for the sweeping.
Unfortunate that this game had to end up like this, but I tell you, it was a hard-fought game the whole way. Rebound, John Bowe. Just a few missed shots here and there by IPFW at crucial times of the game, and a couple of turnovers, and that was it. Nice, strong move, Bowe. Bowe slams it home at 70-63, 7 seconds left, 7-point deficit.
IPFW basically put together a 34-minute game. Unfortunately, they needed all 40 minutes to compete with Kentucky Wesleyan.
And that was a very, very quick timeout as Kentucky Wesleyan just wanted to see what kind of...
the dreaded phantom timeout. And they're going to call it an intentional foul.
I'll tell you what, the intention behind that, Bob, Coach Piazza called that timeout. The new rule now states if the team that called the timeout comes out and you're not out there within the
5 seconds,
if they come out there, then they can throw it in and they can just make an easy bucket if they want. And that happened to a team in Division I. They lost the ball game because of it.
And that's Bard. That's Bard's 5th. He's out of the game now, but it's all just about academic.
They're going to call it an intentional foul also. 7 seconds left. It's a 7-point lead. And really a pretty good effort on IPFW's part. They just had one too many turnovers at crucial times of the game.
Sam Long will pick up 7 seconds of playing time here. I'm sure he'll be real excited about that.
Yeah, like Corey Crowder really needs to add to his point total. 33 for him now. He's going to try to make it 35. 34 then.
A rock-solid performance by Corey Crowder.
I'd say rock solid, all right. 35 points, and he did just about everything tonight. Great defense, steals, blocks, assists.
Five seconds left.
3, 2, 1. Last shot by Vanderbilt, and it's short, and that's the story of the ball game. 72-63, a 9-point impressive win, and a very, very patient win by Kentucky Wesleyan tonight over IPFW at the Athletic Center, 72-63.
It was a lot closer than the score indicates, a 9-point loss for IPFW. But IPFW fighting all the way. This was no easy contest for Kentucky Wesleyan by no stretch of the imagination. IPFW pushed them, they shoved them, but they just didn't have it in the stretch. And Kentucky Wesleyan, just a bigger, stronger, faster ball club tonight, doing everything they had to come away with the big W in the column.
And also a very low-scoring affair, and to the favor of Kentucky Wesleyan, because IPFW had the quicker athletes, and Kentucky Wesleyan dictated the tempo of the game from the onset of the first part of the first half, and that's the story. Lawrence Jordan finished the game with 2 points. Tim Vanenveld had 14 points, a great effort by him. Steve Bard had 14 points. Greg Davis had 4 points. Bruce Rowland had 13. Lloyd Surgeon had 2. Eric Johnson had 8. John Bowe had 5. For Kentucky Wesleyan, Junebug Rakes, the man with the great name, had 5 points. And
Like
he
that guy.
also was a very key element in the second half comeback. And
More than scoring, he
win
more than
also.
anything that you can see in the column, more than scoring, folks.
Reggie Odom had 1 point. Corey Crowder, Corey Crowder had 35 points, and that was a story right there. Vincent
Very
Mitchell
quiet.
had 8. Tim Griffin had 2. Leroy Ellis had 8, but he also had 18 rebounds. Tim Karam had 6. Bobby Newton had 4. And that's it. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Neely along with Bob Kramer, and this has been IPFW Basketball. We hope you join us on our next telecast. As you see the executive producers, thanks to Greg Schmitz and Steve Keeble. 72-63, our final score. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.